Yo, what's going on, you guys? Welcome back to another market trading recap. Today we're gonna go ahead and jump into a trade with Meta that I believe I made over $1,000 net profit from 6:31 a.m. to 7:01 a.m. So in 30 minutes I made $1,000. So in this trade, we went ahead and entered with 10 contracts at 70 each, costing me around $700 initial investment at 6:31 a.m. So this was just 1 minute after market open, and I'm gonna go ahead and show you with you guys right here, the screen in front of me, so you guys see the timestamps and the cost. And then we later on closed Meta at 7:01 a.m. for a realized profit of $1,000. And then 7:01 a.m. so you guys get the timestamps as well. So in front of me now I have both charts that I was using during the trading day. One is an ETF on my left, which I typically use when trading, which is the S&P 500, and then on my right I have my Meta chart. So going into this a little bit with you guys, why did I pick Meta? Why did I take this trade initially? Opening up Meta's chart, after she went through this lawsuit area back in early May, she faced this lawsuit, she dumped all the way to below 593. But prior to this break, there was always this strong level of support around $600 a share. 600 up, 600 up, 600 up, 600 up, 600 up. Held 600 for all of Tuesday, wanted to hold that even towards the end, breaking above to 603 as a resistance at the end of yesterday's market. So with that in mind, I'm like, okay, perfect. We know that we have some resistance of yesterday's market, and you can even see on Monday where 603 was serving as a point of resistance, where price was rejecting down. So noticing that Meta was at the 600 level, and SPY was bullish probably the entirety of the week. Going over here, you can see May 12th we had a very aggressive SPY. We had May 10th a very aggressive SPY. So I was like, hey, maybe we could rally up to a new all-time high on SPY as well. So I expected a bullish market entering Meta. So now we're gonna go ahead and press play on both of them, and I'm gonna walk you guys through this trade. So right here with Meta, market is now opening. I have her on the smallest tick. So immediately, let's go ahead and pause both of them. I noticed here, I was watching this all live, so unfortunately it's not loading quickly, but on TradingView I seen this bottom, right, like this 597, and I seen the accumulation of buyers come and buy it all the way up, and that's when I was like, you know what, this is going to be bullish. Meta's going to be following right off of the support. Literally she hit that supply right here at 597.50 and bounced right up, hit that, literally wicked it, came right up. Strong buy signal for me, and I was like, you know what, let's see if Meta could break above 600. I'm also kind of at the peace of mind that I'm entering initially at market open, so I'm not too concerned with data right now. I can buy at market open. Hey, I feel a little bit more comfortable even until like maybe 8 a.m., 7:30. So I know I have an hour in this trade for Meta to get above 600, and trading so close to 599, 597 of a low. I knew we had some room in it, so I went ahead and placed the entry right there at 631, and then after that I was monitoring SPY as well. And I noticed, I believe at this time, that SPY caught this kind of support. And then we had this resistance that she rejected off of 737.65. Same thing with Meta, rejecting off of that 600, and then kind of accumulating, consolidating a little bit sideways here on both ones, and then boom, we got the break. Once we got the break, Meta just went ahead and pushed all the way up, and I knew my sell target. Now I got to be paying attention. When am I going to sell, right? I seen SPY go ahead and jump up after that sell candle on Meta, so it was a little bit more reassuring for me that we had this kind of continuation of the bullish trend going into the end of market. Once we caught this support once again at 597 on Meta, I was like, hey, we rejected off of that. That's a good healthy sign for me, right? This is another part, like when trading aggressive candles like that on the 1 minute can be very intimidating. Some traders will even want to cut their losses, but remember, stick to key levels. Don't get emotionally impacted by those charts. Look at these key levels at 597.50 going up, and then once you go ahead and see that held, you're a little bit more confident, right? So that's exactly what reassured me. That took away the emotions of the aggressive candle. Same thing as this kind of support establishing here on SPY at 736.50. We're kind of forming a bullish trend on SPY. following over, you know, that aggressive buy from yesterday's market. So I was like, okay, cool. Jumping into this trade, but let's go ahead and continue letting it play out. I see that SPY is accumulating, continuing to run up green. And I don't want to be too greedy, you know. I was looking for this kind of sell point at 603 that we were struggling with earlier. Previously, that resistance, once we broke above 603, pre-market highs, I was like, dang, like I might have a runner here. And she did move up very aggressive, like quick candles where I didn't have to second guess really my exit. I knew right then and there that I had a winning trade because of those aggressive candles. And I knew when buying happens like that, it kind of creates this rally kind of sheep effect where everyone just follows into FOMO. And you know what, all the commotion with AMD last week, you know, everyone was just purchasing. Nvidia skyrocketing, AMD skyrocketing, Microsoft, Google, all of them skyrocketing. So I was like, Meta, you know, coming off of that lawsuit right at 600 deserves some love. And then we went ahead and took profits right there at that 607 because we broke above 603. I didn't want to be too greedy, you know, like I said in my last video, when she went ahead and played out, she rallied. I did leave around, I think if I did the math here on this one, it was about 7,900. I walked away with 1,000, but I would have made 7,900 if I would have held all the way till end of market. Let's go ahead and end this simulation here. And then you see Meta went ahead and went all the way up to 614, and then she later on broke, I think reaching like 620 if I'm not mistaken. I think she hit like around 620 and then started rejecting. Yep, 620. If I would have caught that all the way at 620, that would have been 7,900 in my pocket, and that would have been from 6:31 a.m. to 11 a.m. So roughly around like 3 to 4 hours, would have cleared $7,000 in less than one day. So that's like kind of, you know, going to show you guys once again the power of, you know, learning how to trade options. And really more importantly, like once you have the knowledge, it's not just the knowledge, it's also the experience. But more importantly, like people always ask me, Jerry, how do you build up experience? How do you build up knowledge? Oftentimes it's adapting to letting the market into your day-to-day routine, you know, participating in it, looking at a chart during market hours, highlighting your key levels, monitoring a company or two so you can know where these key levels are at, right? I know that Meta at 600 is a very hot zone for buyers. That's a psychological level where investors want to maintain this at. So I knew this, and I was like, you know what? This could hold after weeks of, you know, watching it hold at 600. So I had reassurance because of how much time I've been putting into these markets, the routine, waking up, looking at the same companies and identifying these key levels. So that's how you guys can also get better, you know, just give it your time, look at the charts. It's a well worthy of your investment. You know, oftentimes I know we're at work, I know we have other things that we might have to manage and deal with. You know, life is life. I'm not going to disagree with you guys, but the return on time invested in the stock market, the amount of money you get for the amount of time you put in, it's exponential. I don't know too many opportunities that are going to pay $1,000 in 30 minutes. And sure, it does take a lot of knowledge and experience to accomplish it at that level. You know, I did leave 7,900 on the table, but hey, at $1,000 in 30 minutes, I'm not asking for too much. I don't think anyone else would either. That's a really decent amount of capital in such a short amount of time for you to just, boom, cash in. I'm done with work at 7 a.m., enjoy my day, focus on my classes, focus on acquiring new clients, building up these YouTube videos that you guys are watching, you know, building up my client results, trying to manage my social media platforms that are constantly being taken down, and boom, you know, just pivoting into the next step of my day instead of spending the next 8 hours exchanging, you know, so much of my time for trying to make that capital. So just adjust your paradigm, adjust your little bit of your reality, get your feet wet, you know, little by little, learn this little by little, and it compounds. You know, you get better at it when you're older. I can tell you for a fact that when I was a trader at 18, 19 years old, just messing around with GameStop and AMC, I knew half of the things I do now, but it's because I never gave up. And I did lose countless thousands, countless of hundreds, learning the hard way. And that's why I make these videos and this content, so you guys don't learn the hard way. And you guys get to share that journey with me. You know, I get to be there to help you guys, hopefully. And here at SoCal Trading Group, I've been able to help countless individuals generate a lot of significant results. You know, some of my biggest winners look like this, And this, you know, my boy's bringing home really good money in a day period. So I hope this video is able to help you guys understand a little bit of my entries, how I'm able to identify entries, not just off of key levels, but also the time put in, the knowledge, right? The back end, the little bit of the references that I knew just because I'm in these markets every single day. So I hope this video is able to help you guys better your entries and navigating, you know, your exits and how to treat these trades aside from emotionally, also, you know, with a little bit of strategy. And also, you know, when you guys are, man, keep in mind that's $700, right? That return on that trade was roughly, I think, like 66 or no, 127%. Let's go ahead and confirm that. May 13th, Meta was 142% return right there. So, you know, when I tell you guys, when exposing this much capital for beginners, it might be uncomfortable, it might be scary. $700 like that comes with the experience. You know, look at my videos where I say start with $100 on my options for beginners video. I mean it. It's very important that you discipline yourself to exposing little capital while you're learning, so you don't lose a lot of capital, you know, when you're first starting. Those losses are gonna feel a lot worse mentally, emotionally, and you don't want to build up that negative kind of feedback. You want to start low capital so you're not emotionally attached to this income, and you can also watch it fluctuate in percentages without feeling too much emotions to sell, or, you know, sell at a sell when you're really like down negative a lot. You can hold your position a little longer, let it play out. You could build your emotional tolerance, right, to seeing charts fluctuate and move and hitting certain key levels and riding some trades out, you know, knowing when to draw your stop losses, navigating data. You know, you can do that all with $100. Once you start exposing your thousands and you're taking those losses early, it never helps mentally, and that's what I want all of you guys to avoid. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you guys for watching. Hopefully we get to go ahead and make more market recaps. Leave a like and subscribe. If you guys have any questions, feel free to leave a comment down below, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Jerry Trades, the SoCal Trading Group, over and out.